State Police.
Yeah, there's somebody after me.
I'm sorry?
There's somebody after me.
Where are you?
There's somebody after me.
What's the matter? Are you okay?
What are you going to do? What are you going to do to me? Please, stop.
Me, Mike. Brother, come on.
No, stop it, please. Please, get me out of here, Mike.
Hello?
You're being sarcastic about this. You were part of this all along.
I can manage it now.
Shannon.
This morning, new information in the manhunt for a serial killer whose trail of terror has led police to a beach in New York's Long Island.
Police just released sketches of two people whose remains were found along Ocean Parkway.
3 more bodies.
4 unidentified bodies.
8 bodies. 10 sets of human remains have been found.
My sister is saying from like the time that she was like 5, 6 to, you know, up until the day she went missing, she loved singing. When she was younger, her idol was Mariah Carey, you know, and her voice was like an R&B kind of voice. She really worked hard on it, and, you know, that was something that she really wanted to do.
After 4 bodies wrapped in burlap were dumped in a marshy area along this Long Island beach in 2010. The bodies all found within a quarter mile of each other.
Everyone's gonna have to go.
But the case went cold, and the so-called Gilgo Beach serial killer remained on the loose.
I didn't want to believe that it was my daughter. I just didn't want to. I still had that little bit of hope. And then 2 days later, we got a call that they found 3 more bodies, and I just knew. Megan was a wonderful mom, a wonderful daughter. Anybody that met Megan fell in love with Megan. Her smile, you could be so depressed, so upset, crying, but you look at Megan when she's smiling and your whole appearance changes.
After more than a decade searching for answers, Long Island investigators announced bombshell news last week.
Investigators later recovered his DNA from a pizza crust he discarded in Manhattan and matched it to genetic material found on the bodies.
A decade later, there is still no arrest of a suspected serial killer.
It's been over a decade since 11 bodies were found on the coast of Long Island. Police have never been able to crack the case.
Suffolk County police have spent more than a decade investigating the Gilgo Beach murders.
Biggest unsolved murder case in New York's history.
It's been 12 years since the first human remains were found along a Long Island stretch of beach.
Sources tell CBS 2 police have made an arrest in the Gilgo Beach murders investigation.
A suspected serial killer on New York's Long Island has been arrested.
CBS News has confirmed police have a suspect in custody linked to New York's 2010 infamous Gilgo Beach murders.
12.5 years ago, the bodies of 4 people were found over several days buried near a remote beach on New York's Long Island. All 4 women were murdered wrapped in burlap. They were eventually identified as Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, Maureen Brainerd Barnes, and Amber Lynn Costello, and they were not the only ones. In the year that followed, investigators would uncover 7 more sets of human remains across 2 Long Island counties, bringing the total to 11. But there were few clues. The case went cold. No arrests were made until now. 59-year-old married architect with 2 children of his own and a home in a quiet Long Island neighborhood.
I'm standing here with my law enforcement partners in the Gilgo Task Force to announce the indictment of defendant Rex Andrew Heuermann.
This case, these unsolved murders, have just gripped Long Island and so many people for so long. Police have been out here all day going through his home, bringing out tons of evidence. And even though they've only brought charges regarding 3 of those deaths near Gilgo Beach, it has been received with enormous relief.
Authorities have reportedly found a soundproof room in the basement of accused Gilgo Beach serial Rex Heuermann's home, where at least one woman may have been killed. Items pulled out of Heuermann's home in Massapequa Park in recent days have included more than 200 firearms, a large doll in a glass case, a large portrait of a woman with a bruised face, and a filing cabinet.
Heuermann is a demon that walks among us, a predator that ruined families.
We're continuing to execute search warrants, and we anticipate getting more evidence.
I've always thought of Long Island as this safe haven sanctuary, and like this is like, whoa.
It gets harder every day. It doesn't, they say that time heals all wounds, and that's not true. It gets worse. You just get used to them not being there, but you experience more memories without them there.